guys, welcome back to another video where today we are in Become Tiky and Everything Else. Now, this is quite interesting because they've done some updates which meant that blue and green that we used to be in the old beta morphs area is now, in fact, well, over here and free to get, because as you can clearly see, we've got flying green and we've got all the other versions of greens. In fact, we've got so many versions of greens in this server, I really don't know where to look. Now, I'm just going to have a quick look to see what else is over here. So we can see we've got blue, we've got green, and you've got uni, and obviously all the others that were here before. But obviously, this time around, you don't need the beta morphs pass to actually, become them. But what this does means, I did see there's an update which gives you some other versions of Rainbow Friends, and also a baby version of purple. What? Okay, so I'm just going to reset myself, as clearly that door had won the fight between me and it just won. So it was easy to reset. I've just realized that I've still got my Halloween top on, which I need to remove, preferably soon. But now we're actually in this room. I can see we've got just the original beta morphs that were here beforehand, and literally every other morph that I paid for originally has been removed. The only reason to have this room was really for the Rainbow Friends, and now they've been chucked out. So that means that they've been moved elsewhere, because I do know there is actually a bunch more in this game now, which actually includes purple being a badge morph, which I will show you how to unlock very shortly. This must be it here, new Rainbow Friends. Now, I can see through it that there's clearly a massive green, which looks like a huge tree, but I can also guess me running into this is going to cost me Robux and death, clearly. So it's going to charge me 714. Let's see what we got. Here we go. So we've just unlocked that, and like this, you've got orange being a pogo. That's pretty cool. I haven't unlocked him yet, and it should be something I do, but we'll get to that shortly. Let's go all the way down here to go and find these new creatures that have been added into the game. So we like that, smash through this door. Oh, okay, so we have the ones that I had to begin with. The only new ones I can see is the baby purple. Look at him, he looks so adorable. And you've got Treen. Okay, he's called it Treen. I was going to call it Tree Green, but yeah, Treen. This thing is ginormous. Like, it's absolutely huge. Obviously, with the blue, I assume that's because he's got the multiple heads on his arm, which we obviously found out in the last video. But I think what we'll do is we'll just try out baby purple. Oh, look at that. He just waddles left and right when he stood still. So the question is... oh, so obviously some of these have got kind of extra emotes onto them, and if you hold shift, this one gets set on fire and goes at like the speed of light. Look at this, we are flying. I don't know if we can set anyone else on fire. That would be a nope. No, we can't. We just leave ourselves on fire, and I don't understand. Why is it that baby purple catches fire when they're sprinting? Like, look, what? Oh, I can see he's got the upset face on it as well. You know what? It's pretty cool. I'm curious to find how to use these particular versions of the heads, or the faces, I guess. So I just want to try and become this one. Ow. So we've just got back into here. Oh, not again. I'm being beat up by the door. Oh, I escaped. Yes, right. Okay, so let's try again. Go through the door just like that and not get trapped. Now, this green one, I want to see if we can use the other face. So if we hold shift, that's fine. You run. If you double tap shift, nothing happens. Oh, I see. So when you move, it changes the face. Look at this. We are stomping along. The one cool thing I like about this actually is the mouth is great and the eyes kind of pulsate to be big and small. Look at that. That's amazing. It's almost like when a cat's in hunter mode at this point. That's really cool. And then when you stop, you just have this lovely smile. So just got back into this room because I want to now check out the other pink that we had before. So if we just go into this, it has no sing emote, but I can see the mouth up there. So if I hold shift, we do a Naruto run. So let's just head out here like that. And if I double tap the sprint button, doesn't do anything. If I move, doesn't do anything. I just need to try and figure out how to make it move and use the other. It's a shame I don't know how to use the other face expression. There's just nothing there to let me know. And I'm pressing literally every button to try and get it, but clearly I'm doing something wrong. And you guys will have to let me know in the comments below how I use the other face. But this is quite cool because you could look at this character as maybe an alternative kind of pink or lilac. I mean, I'm going to leave that down to you guys to what you think it might be out of those two, but it's definitely a good contender for the pink that we've already got, which I know a lot of you guys don't really like. Would you say that this is much better? As we head back to the Rainbow Friends room at the end of this long old corridor, well, we got one more to actually have a look at, which is the Treen, or the Tree Green, or Green Tree, or whatever you want to call it at this point. But we got this big old one here, which, as you can just see, we've now become, and look how massive he is. In fact, he's so big, he doesn't quite fit into this tunnel section. Now, this is definitely one of those characters that makes a statement. It's absolutely ginormous. Look at this compared to all of the other ones here. We clearly are the boss. And actually, this one looks very similar to Nightmare Green, which is what we found in Dark's game that we reviewed on yesterday. And you know what? I really liked that version of green, like the Nightmare Green. This one is just as spooky. Look at all the eyes and the angry teeth, but he's gained additional eyes on him. I didn't even notice this. And in fact, I didn't even notice when you stop, you become an actual tree. The eyes shift around, which is super freaky. And even this guy here is like, what? It's like, I completely agree with you. And then if we hold sprint, he kind of starts... Oh, that's scary. That is very scary. Imagine that. So this is him just walking after you. And this should be like, he moves slow. We can get away from him. Not to worry. Just, run away. But as soon as you really annoy him and he's like...
Nah, I'm gonna get you.
Well, this is what happens. And this is actually a bit more terrifying. Look at this. Look at the way it moves. In fact... I will have to say the animations are super smooth and it does work really well. Now, it doesn't surprise me given who's actually designed this model, which is obviously the same as the game developer who's also done this particular war of blue as well and many other things that we're all aware of, but more iconically is the purple. The purple that we've seen as a mod for Funky Night Friday. This is obviously the last one in the Rainbow Friends kind of room at the end, so we've just paid a lot of Robux for, well, a massive tree, basically. I think that's like the newest one. Oh, and Baby Purple that decides to catch itself on fire when it runs. So what we're going to do at this point is I'm going to show you how to unlock Purple, just as I said I would, but to get there very quickly, I'm going to actually become Purple. Now, he's just here, so if we go into him, like that, we've, not quite what I wanted to do. Let me try again. There we go. We've actually become purple. Now, what we're going to do is hold sprint so we become a car. And we've got Quackers with us who's going to come along for the ride. So what we're going to do is head through this door, wow, just like this, and go way miles away. But what we want to do is head up this mountain, and actually thinking about it, there is a better model to use. I'm going to recommend you guys use green, especially as he's free and more so he can fly. And I will show you why in a second. So without much more rhyming, what we need to do is get to the side of this mountain. Now, I know when that was close. There we go. So what's going to happen here, you can run into this and you'll explode. Just like that. Clearly, as Crackers has done, he will blow up. But that's fine. What you want to do is run into these models of purple. And that's it. You've unlocked purple. But as I've just told Quackers, as he's here, green and blue are now free. And I've learned how to fly as green. Now, last video we did, I didn't know how to do it. And you guys had kindly commented on how to do it. So if you don't know, we're going to head outside just like this. Turn into a coil spring. And at this point, what you want to do, find your sprint button and literally press it twice quickly so this happens.
Helicopter,
helicopter, helicopter, green, just like in the short we did when we first read who summoned black. And obviously, green being the best, clearly won that battle. And yeah, that's why we are now also have the ability to kind of fly around as green. But what's quite funny is when you're flying, if you press the sing button, you stay hovered. What you can do at this point is use the dance moves as you'd expect. But if you hold the W key, if you're on PC, you can just walk around just like so and just, yeah, defy gravity, really. Green's just, defying gravity and just chilling out in the air. So if we come out of sing mode, you then get stuck in a T-pose. So I think at this point, this is the perfect time to go into theory time. So for the first theory, we've got one by Olive Stuff, who was actually becoming a regular. And they say, when we see colors in the facility, we see yellow. So here's my concept. Yellow is a paint-like creature that you need to keep out of the way. Boxes won't help. He has paint extending through, so she will know you're in there. She will sometimes absorb to the ground and teleport somewhere, so be careful of yellow. This is an interesting theory. I mean, the fact you say that yellow is a she, and B, basically liquid that can get away from anything and everything, and more to the case, you can't hide from it. This makes it one of the more difficult creatures that there could be. And I know you say this is a concept, but this is good because I think this is a nice idea that gives us something to maybe work towards in chapter 2. I really like this. For the next one, we've got it by this user here, and they say actually Nightmare Green actually called Treen, and it's in Become Tiky and Everything Else by Musa. They have another Nightmare Rainbow friend called Blue 2, which is a dark blue and and black drooling. And he has another blue on the arm of blue 2 that's actually controlling him. Now, I know this isn't really a theory, but I just want to bring this into the video because it's clearly in the game we're in, and we've had a look at these particular characters. So the fact we've actually seen them, and this kind of links those up, it's quite interesting to see that Nightmare Green is actually Treen. If it's based off that from the last character we saw, that makes sense to why they're fairly similar. Although the last one we went to wasn't a tree, it was purely green in a messed up state, which is quite scary. So for the next theory, we've got one by Orange, and they say Red might have tried to turn grey into white because one of the grey ants was on his hand, and that made his color darker because his ant was black and turned his color dark. I mean, given by the game tunes, this kind of makes sense for what you're saying, and I can kind of agree with that. In fact, I think it's a good theory that you've come up with because it kind of links with what game tunes have done with their video, and yeah, because of that, I think it works quite well. So I think this is where we're going to end the video. I think we're going to bust through this door, stop here, and start dancing, and we'll see who joins us. So, if you liked the video, leave a like, subscribe if you haven't done so already, because it's super appreciated, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye! Look at this! I always want to boop him on the snoot. Boop! I booped Orange on the snoot, and he didn't bite me.